Hello, welcome again to my channel Gateway to IT, and today we're going to discuss about the initial configuration which we have to do in SCCM after the installation. So the very first thing which we have to do is we have to go to the administration tab. Under administration, we have to go to hierarchy configuration. Under hierarchy configuration, we have to go to discovery methods. So under discovery methods, first we have to understand there are 6 types of discovery methods. Let's understand the Active Directory forest discovery. Active Directory forest discovery is a method which actually do not discover any of the resources, users or computers, but it actually discovers the sites and the subnets. So let's say if we have configured our sites, Active Directory sites in Active Directory and also the subnets, then it's going to discover those sites and subnets. And on the after discovering those sites and subnets, it's going to create the boundaries on the basis of sites and subnets. So once we enable that, it will give you an option whether you wants to create your boundaries on the basis of the Active Directory, or you wants to create your boundaries on the basis of the IP address range or the boundaries of IP subnets. That's your choice. Whatever you want, you can choose it from here. But before you enable this Active Directory forest discovery, you have to make sure that your Active Directory sites and subnets are configured properly and also maintained by your Active Directory team. By your Active Directory team. If they are not maintaining it properly, then there is no point to enable this. So I'm going to enable it for now, and let's see how exactly how you can see in the backend that Active Directory forest discovery is working. So I'm enabling it. I'm clicking on yes. Now we have to go to the location which is like where your SCCM is installed, like program file, Microsoft Configuration Manager, and logs. Under that, you have to go to adforestdis.log. This is the log which will tell you the Active Directory forest discovery. So we have to wait until this log runs. So this is my previous entry. Now the discovery has been completed. If you see this particular line, it says we have discovered 2 sites and 2 subnets. Now, if I go to my boundaries, I should be able to see my 2 IP range boundaries and again my sites, Active Directory sites. So this is how you can utilize the discovery method for Active Directory forest discovery. Now let's discuss about the second type of discovery, which is Active Directory group discovery. Under Active Directory group discovery, we will discover the groups and the information information for the membership of the group. Also, the resources like computers and users. And the main information which we get in this is like this computer is part of which groups. So that information will also come down. Now we can get the information for the security groups, as well as we can get the we can discover the membership of the distribution groups as well. So by default, security groups information will be coming down, but if you still wants to get the information for distribution groups, then you have to check this option here. Now in order to understand that, let's enable this and go for add. Under add, we have to click on groups. Now let's see if I want to I'm just giving a name. What you can give a name whatever you want. So I'm just gonna say sales. So because I'm gonna discover my sales group here, so I'm gonna type sales. So I have 2 security groups. One is sales user, another one is sales VMs, or we can say machines. So in this I have users, in this I have computers. So I'm gonna show you both of them. And before that, okay, I have to click here first because it will not let me click the console. Also, you have to make sure you have to specify an account which has permissions on the Active Directory to read that information, and click OK and OK. Now if I go back here before I hit apply, I right now I only have one machine in here, that is my primary site server. I do not have any other machines. And if I go to users, I don't have any users in here. So now I'm gonna hit apply on this for the Active Directory group discovery, and I say apply and yes. Now, in order to see what is happening in the backend, or if you are clicking on this option, if you're turning on this option and still the groups are not getting discovered, the log which you have to look for is, you have to go to C program files, Microsoft Configuration Manager, and logs, or the location where you have installed the drive where you have installed the SCCM, and then you have to look for adsgdis.log. That's the log which you have to open. Now, if I open this log and if I see, it is running the discovery right now. So let's wait until this runs, finish the discovery method. So now the discovery has been completed, and if we go back to the SCCM console, and if I refresh the devices and users both, I can see this one of the machine came in, which was part of one of the security group, and then also the users. So if I see my sales one, sales two is a part of sales user. So I can see my users as well as the groups, and I can also see my sales VM, and my machine which is under devices is a part of sales VM. So we can get the information for all, we can discover all these with the help of Active Directory group discovery. Now if I go back to the Active Directory group discovery, there are a few more things which we can do here. Let's say you wanted to edit something in this, you click on this part and go for edit, and you can edit whatever you want in this one. And then if you wanted to delete it, obviously we have an option to delete at the end. You can delete it from here. You can also provide the location manually in here, like the LDAP path. You can give like sales, or you can provide an LDAP path, and you can say recursively search for the child container as well. So you can do that part as well. So and specify the location. So if you don't want to do this, like you don't want to see your child containers and all those, so you can uncheck this option. So cancel it. And now obviously it is for the schedule when exactly it has to run. So by default, full discovery will run in 7 days. That's a Microsoft recommended. And Delta discovery will run after every 5 minutes. It You can change it as per your convenience, but these are the recommended settings which is given by the Microsoft. Now if I go for options, there this is very important option which which Microsoft has given, like configuring this option to exclude the distribution groups and computers from discovery. So I mean, if you check this option, it will only discover the computer that have not logged into the domain. It will not gonna discover the computer that has not logged onto the domain from past 90 days. So if any machines which let's say a user is working from home and he is not logged on to the domain for past 90 days, then we'll not be able to discover that users or the group I'm sorry, the computer, not the user. So it says discover the computer. So we'll not be able to discover that particular computer. That is the first thing. Now the second thing is, if it's kind of same. It's just like if only discover the computer that have that updated their computer account password in a given period of time. So if any computer has updated their account password in last 90 days, so if it is less than 90, then obviously we will be able to discover it. If it is more than 90 days, the computer password has not been updated, then those computers will not be we will not be able to discover those computers. So these are the two options which Microsoft have given. So choose this option. Make sure your Active Directory is working fine, then only choose this option. If the Active Directory is not working properly, then choosing this option will might I mean might cause some issues in your environment. So look for that. So I'm going to cancel it for now. And yep, that's it on the Active Directory group discovery. Now let's discuss the third type of discovery, which is Active Directory system discovery. If I go for properties, so Active Directory system discovery is to discover the systems like servers, laptops, desktops, VMs. So this method is used to discover these systems. Now, this option again, it's the same like we got in Active Directory group discovery. We can check this option, and then we have to go for add new, and then we have to provide a path from where you want to add the machines. Let's say I'm saying that I wanted to add the machines from India site, so I'm going to choose this OU. Once I choose this OU, I have two options which I can like. These are the search options. First, discovery object within Active Directory group. So if we have any group on this OU path, let's say we have selected this OU path, and under that we have in India OU. If we have any security groups and where we have added the machines, so you can check this option, and this option will also discovers the machines which are there in the Active Directory groups. Then recursively search the Active Directory child container. So if I have any child containers underneath my India site, let's say computers, under computers I have desktop, laptop, servers, or virtual machine. If I want these also to be searched or discovered, then I have to check this option, and we can go from there. Now, if you wanted to exclude any of the child container or any of the container which is in this particular path, let's say I wanted to I don't want my VMs to be discovered. So in that case, what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna keep checking this recursively option in there, but I'm gonna select my let's say virtual machines container, and I don't want those to be discovered. So I can check this option, and I'm gonna what I'm doing here is I'm excluding that particular OU. Uh, so the clients from so the machines in that particular OU will not get discovered to the SCCM. Now you can again you have to specify an account which has a permissions to read this information. So I'm gonna give my account here and say okay. Now my system discovery has been configured for this particular distinguished name or this particular path which we have specified in there. Later on, if you want to edit it, you can do it anytime from here, and you can also delete the same if you want, and you can add new extra from here, and let's explore other options. Then again, it's a schedule which when exactly it has to run the system discovery. So full discovery will run every 7 days. So that's a schedule which is set by Microsoft. You can change it anytime whenever you want, but that's the standard which Microsoft has given. Then again, Delta will be running after every 5 minutes. That's again given by the Microsoft, and you can change whatever you want in here. Now these are the Active Directory attributes. These are the one which come by default, so you don't have to do anything for this. These are the information which will come along with the machine during the discovery. Now if you want any other object to be added, any other attributes to be added, so then in that case you have to select the attributes from here, like comments, company name, country code. So but make sure whatever you're selecting here has to be filled in Active Directory as well. I mean, there is no use if the information is not given and still you are discovering this. So what you have to do is you have to select that option and add and hit apply. So this attribute information will also come from the Active Directory. Now if I look at the options, under options, again it says configure option to exclude the computer from discovery. So if we check this option, now we are configuring exclusion of the computers. So only discover the computer that has logged on to the domain in a given period of time. So if any machine has been logged on to the domain for 90 days, within 90 days will get discovered. If there is any machine which is not logged on to the domain for more than 90 days or more than 90 days, then obviously that machine will be excluded from here. So make sure your Active Directory is working fine, user is connecting, because if you check this option and let's say for some reason user has kept his machine somewhere and he opened his machine after 90 days, so obviously first machine will be removed from SCCM. If you have enabled the maintenance task for that, Like if the machine is inactive, remove it, and you if the machine is removed, you will not be able to rediscover and install the client on it until unless you're doing a manual intervention on that. So make sure that before you check this option, your Active Directory is working fine. In the same way, the second option is only discover the computer that have updated their computer account in a given period of time. So again, this again goes to the Active Directory. So if your Active Directory is working fine and user is updating the computer account password on time, then obviously those machine will get discovered. But if you check this option, if any of the computers are not updating their information, I mean the computer password, and like not logged onto the domain, then obviously those will not get discovered. So for now I'm gonna uncheck this, and I'm gonna remove this attribute, and I'm gonna hit apply. As soon as I hit apply, so the log which you have to look for is adsysdis.log. So again, you have to go to the same location for the logs, and the log which you have to look for adsysdis.log. So Active Directory system discovery.log. So under that log, you will be able to see that it will be running the discovery. Let's wait. Okay, it's running now. So that's how the system discovery works. Now let's discuss about the fourth discovery, which is Active Directory user discovery. So if I open the properties, again you can enable the discovery by checking this option, and you can I mean add the containers from here. You have to browse it, so you have to look for the container which is for the users. So let's say I'm just saying ind users, so I'm checking that. Now under that, discover object, again the same thing like we get in this system discovery. So if we have any Active Directory group, and under that group we have the users, and if you want to discover those users as well, which is a part of our Active Directory group, then you can check this option. Then recursively search, again the same thing. If we have any child containers underneath my selected OU, it gonna check that as well. And this is to exclude the discovery, the same concept which we have in the system discovery. Like if you wanted to exclude any of the OU which should not discover, so then let's say if I don't want to discover my HR department or IT department users, so I just have to say yes, I mean click OK on there, and it will gonna exclude this tab from here. Same thing. And now specify the account which has permissions. Again, I'm going to give my account here, and click OK. Now it has been added. You can edit it, you can create a new one, and you can delete it from here. Now the same thing, the schedule, it by default it runs for every 7 days, and that's a full discovery. And delta discovery one runs at 5 minutes, so that's recommended by Microsoft. Now the attributes, again the same concept which we have in system discovery. These are the by default attributes which get discovered during the user discovery. But if you want the additional attributes to be discovered, then you have to choose these attributes here, and you have to click add. As soon as you add, it will also discover those attributes from the Active Directory for that particular user. And that's it for now. We can just click apply and say yes. As soon as we click yes, now we have to go for the logs. The log which you have to look for is aduser.dis.log. Under that, if you open that, so this log will be same. I mean, you can see like what and all things getting discovered and what and all things are getting excluded. So that's how you have to discover the users, and you can track if let's say if there is any user you see that you think that it should discover and it is not getting discovered, then this is the log which you can refer to, and you can see why exactly it is not getting discovered. Now let's discuss about the heartbeat discovery. So heartbeat discovery is one of the method which is actually different from other discovery methods, because this discovery method, all other discovery methods will run on the server, SCCM server, but this discovery method runs on the client machine. So this discovery method will actually check whether the client is alive or not, it is working or not, healthy or not. So that kind of information it gets from the client machine, and by default it is every 7 days, but we can also force it by going to the action SCCM application applet. Under actions tab we will be able to see the DDR, data discovery record, so we can force our client to do that. And whenever it's getting a heartbeat discovery DDR from the client machine, there is a small file which is coming from the client machine. It's a size of somewhere around 1 KB, and the information which comes in that particular file is like what is the BIOS, what is the net BIOS name, what is the location of the client, like network location of the client, what is the client version, and if the client is working or not. So that kind of information which is getting discovered. So this, on the basis of this information, the status of the client will be shown into the SCCM console. So it is really important discovery method. Do never disable this discovery method, or else you will be in problem on the SCCM server. Now let's discuss about the last discovery method, which is a network discovery. So this is a discovery method which I have seen in my experience. Like, no one is using this, but yeah, this discovery is used for discover the resources which we cannot discover using the other discoveries, like forest group system users. So I mean, the resources which we are not able to discover using these discoveries. This is this is a discovery which does that part. So mostly this discovers the like routers or network printers or any network devices which is there on the network. So uh, in order to enable that, first you have to select the topology, what exactly you want, on what level you want to search that part, and then you have to either specify a particular subnet from where exactly you need those devices to be discovered, or you have to specify a domain from where you want to search it, or the SNMP name, or yep, that's what you have to select. And then any devices which are there, like SNMP devices, SNMP enabled devices which runs on this protocol, or the DHCP server. So you have to specify that information, then obviously schedule like how frequently you want to run it, and then hit apply and okay. So that's how you have to configure the network discovery protocol. As I say in the beginning, this is a kind of discovery most of the companies do not use it. So yep, that's about the network discovery. If you have any questions, I will provide a link in the description which will tell more about the network discovery. You can refer to that and you can learn more about the network discovery. This is the end of first part of initial configuration of SCCM, in which we have discussed the discovery methods. I will be coming up soon with next part of SCCM initial configurations. So stay tuned for my next video, and thank you for watching.